kids who were born after September 11th, they don't know America.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is 2 decades to me, minimum, is how long it takes, if maybe even longer. To me, with that part, one of the best things that COVID did that's bad for liberals, terrible for liberals, is, these companies like, you can work from home for the rest of your life. Oh, shit, then I'm moving out of San Francisco. I'm not going to pay the taxes in San Francisco. I'll go to Texas.
Right.
No. We didn't say that. Stay here, but you can work from home in San Francisco. I'm not going to live here for $220. I'm going to go to Texas and get a place in Frisco or prosper. I'm doing great. No, we want you to come back. The other day, Andrew Cuomo was talking about, New York has lost a lot of money. He says, our number one source of tax revenue we got in New York was from rich people. They've left us. He says, that's the reality. By the way, he was a liberal that a lot of liberals thought he was going to be a president until he was not willing to follow what Schumer and Pelosi and the establishment liberals were telling him. Then they said, we got to oust this guy. Mayor Adams is next. There's a bunch of other guys they do. This is a very easy business model. As long as you do what we tell you to do, if Biden doesn't step away, guess what? There's going to be 17 girls coming out and a bunch of things. But you're going back to this question. COVID forced parents to do homeschooling. And some parents are like, whoa, I thought it was harder. Maybe I'm going to stick to this. We just found each other. Hey, Mary, you're also doing homeschooling. Jackie, you too? You guys mind? What's your strength? I'm English. What's yours? Math. I'm science. You guys mind? Yeah. And can I bring my, yeah. Can we do your house one day too? Yeah. Why do we need school? And there's this website curriculum that conservative, that all of a sudden naturally started happening. Now, Christian schools, 4 years ago, having a hard time getting people to sign up for Christian schools. You know what Disney's done? The waiting list to get into Christian private schools right now is insane. They're turning down 4.5 GPA kids because they have so much inventory, okay? So the big opportunity lies with us right now. Like when I saw the parents in Glendale protesting against what some of the policies that were coming out with, and they stood up and they're like, no, we're not going to take this from you, it starts off with us making the investments into education with some creative, disruptive ideas coming out to say, hey, you don't need to send your kids there. There's a lot of people that are working on different things with education. Hillsdale does it in its own way. There's others that do it as well. But I think that opportunity starts with the education side. When somebody finds a way to say, that's going to be my mission, that's where I'm going to put my money and my time into, this is like the ripe time for parents to be receptive to something like that. It's got to be duplicatable, easy, streamlined, effective, high content, pre-recorded from teachers that are winners, high expectation, high standards, accountability, creativeness. We're teaching different things. And maybe a part of the country's got to say, like, today I'm having Jeremy Boring on. He's from Daily Wire. And he had a moment one time in Hollywood where, imagine you're a 12-year-old kid, you're coming up, you're like, your dream is to win an Oscar one day. That's a dream. You're attached to the dream. It's an emotional thing. You think about it. You watch, and the Oscar goes to, and then you role play saying it hundreds of times. Mom, look, this is going to be my speech. And I'm going to thank you, Mom. I'm going to say, I want to thank my mom. And Mom's crying, my boy's going to get an Oscar. It's going to be awesome, right? And then one day you realize, these guys don't like me. I can never do this. And then you're like, that's okay. I don't need them. I'm okay. The moment we realize, why are we so caught up in getting a high school diploma? Why is this such a big deal? Why do we have to do that? I challenge some of the parents in Glendale to go on a strike and take their kids out for 1 month. Just take it. Take 30,000 kids out for 1 month. See what happens. Oh, Newsom will feel it very quickly. And do it at a time where they need it because they need certain grades. Yeah, I don't really care. We don't care about that. And see what happens collectively. And maybe you don't do it with kids above 7th grade. Maybe you do 6th grade or below to kind of get the pen. And say, by the way, we're about to do it with the next grade. And getting people to run for office, like within schools, administration. We have to encourage people to do that as well. And then the last thing I would tell you, Glenn, is you asked me a question earlier, what am I going to be speaking about at, Turning Point USA? Yeah. And I showed you my notes. I said, I'm already writing a few things, but this is one of the things I'm going to be talking about. For the last year and a half, when I talk to anybody that's under 35. I am encouraging Christians, conservatives, to do whatever they can to have a minimum of 4 kids. Not 1, not 2, 4 minimum. If you can do 5, go for it. If you can do 6, even better. If you can do 7, all day long. Your LDS, your daughter introduced to LDS, 14, 15, whatever the timeline was in Vegas. I think that was the timeline that you went to.
You're amazing.
Guess what? That model, when I go talk to Christian churches, and I say, look at the LDS model. Look what they're doing. You can say whatever you want, but this Gordon B. Hinckley, the virtues, the way they're raising the kids, the way they're teaching them how to speak, the way they're sending them for 2 years, there's a system. What if we get conservatives to start having 4 kids? Because if they don't, it's competition of religion today. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Muslims are winning 2.9 to 2.1. You're not going to win. It's a matter
I have to tell you, I'm a guy who didn't want a big family. I have 4 kids. I wish, and I mean this sincerely, I wish I had 10. I wish I had 10. It's a pain in the ass that you think you're never gonna make it out alive, but it is the greatest joy. It is truly all that matters in life. When you grow up enough to get past all the bull crap that you've got going inside, you realize this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.